Sorry, this is a question about math. Can I ask if I can remove the math, or just don't ask it all and keep it on?
You do have to do it later.
Okay.
We actually usually, at least at town council meetings, we urge that, because people can hear. Okay. Yeah. And you're far enough. You're fine. David's not coming, but Maryland is talking to them. And we're good to go. Yeah, that would be great.
Anyway, they added it. Believe it or not. I didn't see that. I put it in my.
Quarterly meeting, the last quarterly meeting of the year, so the Jamestown Intergovernmental Council together. If you would all rise and your roll please be needed to reflect.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going to go around and introduce ourselves. My name is Jenny Minchett. I serve on Charleston County Council. I represent James Island, Palm Beach, Huron, and Seabrook. I will be relinquishing my title at the beginning of next year as the chair of this wonderful committee and council. And we're going to start down at the end with our PSC team. Happy World Secretary of the PSC. I think myself around the
Alan Lawson and
Aaron Clifford, James Island Public Service District Commission Chair.
Carol Jackson, I represent City Council, City of Charleston, District 12.
I'm Bill Wolfe, Mayor of the Town of Jamestown.
Hi, I'm Troy Lomax, James Island Town Council.
Hi, I'm Brittany Grant, Commissioner for the James Island Public Service. Hi, my name is Susan Wilson. I'm a Commissioner of the James Island Public Service.
I'm Derek Ellison, Councilor for Jamestown.
All right, thank you. Good evening, I'm Spencer Wetmore. I am the State House Rep for this one to go to James Island, POS, and College Beach. Excellent. At this time, we'll go to public comment. Do you have any questions? Yes. To be respectful of everyone's time, each public comment will last 2 minutes. If you get a little warning before the end. But if you could begin with just your life. Hi, we're recording it and they can only hear you if you in the mic. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Shakira Myers, and I'm a resident of College Road. I'm in the city of Charleston, and I'm on septic. I have to get my septic tank myself every 4 months, and I'm on 325. I support a family of 6, and it's hurting me financially. How I know my septic tank is sold and backed up in my house, I have a floor replaced. I wanted it to work, and I'm wondering if there are any government grants that can help me get to work.
Excellent. Thank you for your help. Can we put that on the PSC? Yeah. All right, someone will be able to, we appreciate that. I know that's the number of emails. Thank you. All right, next is Letitia Dunbar. No, oh, she's going to be speaking to us later. How about Nikki Rimble? Automatic thing to sign in. Well, here. How about, is it Andy?
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Andy Bajowski. I live at 1204 Julian Park Road. So I am right in the middle of the sewer expansion. I'm also a civil engineer. I've done these expansions for other municipalities. And while I wholeheartedly support this effort to clean up the creek, I do want to express concern about the wholesale driver system that is proposed in that application. I don't think that's the most effective long-term solution. And I just would ask that all the council members, everybody involved, PSC and their consultants, spend some time to reevaluate whether or not that's a true solution for long-term for their living.
We go don't usually exchange a lot of back and forth during this, but if you have a proposed solution or there's something else in other areas.
We use a combination of grinder pumps and, gravity extension for gravity reach. GIS data for the inventory, and what's in the neighborhood already, so it's part of the neighborhood can be done with gravity. So the 208, grinder pumps proposed in the neighborhood, and a large portion of the pump can be done with gravity. And cost-wise, that's something to evaluate. There's a lot right in the middle of the neighborhood. That would be a good potential conservation location. That you can potentially build a conservation for the entire neighborhood.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in. All right, I think that's it for public comment. We will now move into the motion to approve the minutes from last week. All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. We have a presentation now. I think we have the up.
Yeah. I am the teacher Dunbar, and I'm the commissioner of the design group, and this is an honor to serve as a consultant program manager for the Woodwood College Road since 2019. Before I get started, we want to acknowledge that Ernie Bowman could not be here personally tonight, but he is on the Zoom call. And so, as you're aware, some time has passed since the adoption of the plan, and I am here to provide an overview to refresh everyone on the recent College Road Complete Initiative and answer any questions that you might have about it. I'm sorry. Get this screen just right. I should do that. I'll keep going. The recent College Road plan was adopted in 2016. It was adopted in 2016, and it's a multi-jurisdictional partnership between the town of James Island, City of Charleston, City of Holly Beach, Charleston County, Berkeley, Charleston, Dorchester, Capital Government. And it's intended to set an unified vision for the future of the College Road. And it was crafted through an extensive public participation process. The plan was uses 5 guideposts to organize its recommendations, and these guideposts continue to direct implementation. And as you can see here, the guideposts are safety, which is paramount to everything we do along College Road to ensure comfortable travel, regardless of what mode someone chooses, whether that be driving, walking, bicycling, or riding transit. Along with safety, we are concerned with connecting users along the corridor, both through the physical infrastructure environment as well as the people without this visual environment. And along with the hardscape, we want to implement sustainable, resilient infrastructure by providing community-based safety and green infrastructure. And it is expected that as we improve safety, create connectivity, and provide green space, the value of College Road will increase to provide a strong return on investment for property and business owners, and elevate the corridor as a place where people want to live, work, shop, and play. And the last one here is traffic signal. Usually when I see a traffic signal in the word speed, I think about synchronized. Talking about a corridor here, I think about synchronizing once the traffic signals along the corridor. However, in this case, in the plan, this strategy is refers to a process that is highly collaborative between the various jurisdictions along the College Road. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got the town of James Island, the City of Charleston, the City of Holly Beach, Charleston County, and the DCD card, who all have continued to work very well in the implementation of the plan. So here, things talk about being synchronized as one unity to implement this. The public outreach for the development of the plan included a 7-day public design charrette at the First Baptist School Activity Center. The charrette included a kickoff and hands-on design session, participant feedback forums throughout the week, and meetings were held with steering committee, municipal, and county staff and officials, business owners, developers, transportation, agency staff, and others. And consultants also conducted a handlebar survey where they observed the existing condition along the corridor from a cyclist perspective, and they cycled the entire corridor. The plan is what resulted in strategies that will be used throughout the corridor. And these strategies look at urban design, mobility, and green infrastructure. And under urban design, we look specifically at building transparency, the first story, shop facades, and looking at 70% doors and windows, parking, signage, landscape, and implementation. Under mobility, we look at the full complete street design, looking at all modes of walking, biking, driving, and transit. And then for green infrastructure, we're looking at preserving the existing tree canopy and adding real street trees, looking at the first green infrastructure opportunities for local stormwater management, and then better landscape and open spaces in all contexts. So to take a quick look at the corridor here was it's divided into 5 unique principal segments, and this is nearly an 8-mile corridor. And these 5 segments are titled by the Maven and North Village area, which fall mostly in the city of Charleston area. And the characteristics for this particular segment of the corridor, the main looking at it being an entry gateway, focusing on those elements. Not that alone, but that's the primary focus. For commercial core is mostly in the town of James Island, and here it's the focus is centered around the town center and kind of walkability and the street. The next portion is the South Village portion, which falls between both the city of Charleston and the town of James Island. For the portion that's located in the city of Charleston, we're looking mostly at large commercially zoned areas. We can turn those areas into communities with the local corridor. And then in the town of James Island segment, there's kind of a mix between office residential and neighborhood commercial. And for the neighborhood preservation area, this is mostly falls within the city of Charleston and the Charleston County area. And we're looking at low intensity residential, low intensity residential. And then the last segment is the Holly Beach conservation area. The first year, the goal is to preserve natural. So we all understand it's unrealistic to expect these types of changes to happen overnight or even within a year or two. So the plan identifies the ideal scenario for corridor improvement with descriptions on phasing for an implementation strategy that is in tiers of accomplishment from good, better to best. And these scenarios are captured in the matrix with over 70 projects, policies, and goals, with general cost estimates, timeframes, and design responsibility by jurisdiction. Ultimately, the tactic is that we don't want to let perfect be the enemy of good in the success of this work. What has been accomplished? I'm sure that some of you have been a very instrumental part of this process, but a quick recap, I'm very glad to say again that we've been privileged to manage the part of this project since 2019. And then as momentum picked up in 2020, we worked on creating new branding and launch websites. And with the allocation of funding, we have come to the completion of the phase 1 project design. So it's almost complete, close to 100%. In 2021, we also developed the multi-use path design guidance. And prior to its development, there was some confusion on the intent of the 12-foot path and exactly how to implement the construction of the path. And so this guide streamlines direction on the how and the why of the 12-foot path. Ultimately, the guidance has helped each of the jurisdictions to be successful in guidance for new development, continuity between jurisdictions, and overall intent. The phase 1 project is a multi-jurisdictional project led by Charleston County. And it currently, again, is close to 100% design. So we expect it to be wrapped up within a month or so. And right-of-way permitting to begin soon, and we'll take about 6 to 12 months for right-of-way. And then after that would be bid, and then hopefully sometime by this time next year, construction will likely begin. So how can you help? How can you help with this process? Well, two things. One is helping by informing and other. You can help to inform of the benefits of the corridor, which is corridor enhancement, economic development, and improve safety and mobility for all users. And then you can also help to promote by supporting continuity through design standards and allocating financial resources. And where are we headed? What's next with this process? We are working to establish a business and property owner group. The first meeting is scheduled for next week, Wednesday, October 27th, to be held right here at the James Island Town Hall, and starting at 5 o'clock. And this will include mapping where there is existing sidewalks, trail, bike lane projects that are completed, and also the other thing that we're working on is developing a mapping process where we will identify development opportunities and identify projects that are either complete or underway, so we can start to see the connectivity where the dock is connected, where there's existing sidewalks, whether we need more sidewalk or side paths, and bike projects where they're existing and where we can connect in the future. So we're working on pulling it together, and that's going to be an online interactive map. And then again, we expect the phase 1 project construction to begin hopefully sometime this time next year. And then we also have the design of pedestrian improvements at the intersection of Foley and Fort Johnson. So the design of that intersection improvement to begin soon. So that is all I have to share. Thank you for the opportunity to share and update you on the main part of the commission.
Do you guys have any questions?
I have 2 real questions. First, is there going to be any exposure to any kind of traffic problems that are going to be done as part of phase 1? We're going to have to explain to people when they call it, say, I can't do such and such.
For many road projects, there's likely to be some changes in traffic, and that will be mitigated. I have not been part of the process and haven't identified what the actual locations where there will need to be diverse traffic. I'm sure as we go through the process, the
And then the other one that I have, I know that there was a site you could go to, do comments, you were asked for the public comment. And that had the entire plan on it where people could look at. I'm sure there's been some updates to it. Is that still the site that people can go to in the public and can find out information?
Yes.
And make sure that we all have that address again.
Yes, it's www.rethink.road.
Yeah, it used to be part of the, it's no longer, maybe stolen.
Kathy? I'm still not like at all, this 12-foot wide, multi-use path. That might be good for urban areas that have high population, down lot of people going back and forth. But I don't think it's necessary on James Island. And I'm really pushing against that totally. My biggest concern about that is, where's that water gonna go when this got first? We already have flooding in these areas already. You've now added 12 foot of concrete or asphalt, 8 miles long. Where's that water gonna go? We don't have the infrastructure now. You put that in, I don't care how many damn trees you plant, it's not gonna suck up that much water. And it's ridiculous in this low density area to have a multi-use tax big enough to drive a dump truck through. I know this and I drive a dump truck. And it's just ridiculous. You added another street down the middle of our island. And I'm very much opposed to it. And anybody else wants to join me to fight this tooth and nail, you can welcome to join us.
Let me clarify, is the multi-use path, what we have in existing with the bike path adjacent to the sidewalk along Holly Road, that healthy?
No,
there may
not be a state, but I think it's
only, all right, Alan,
In response to the press was talking about, somewhere in the back of my mind, I remember they were talking about using permeable type of, thank you. Rather than the impervious, that's a less water. So, as long as we're.
You could have James Council, only so much is going to take them.
I think that in the reality of actually citing where especially segment one, the most we're going to be able to do is 8-foot sidewalk on the sidewalk above the curb, and then we're widening the sidewalk 4 feet. So I'm looking at properties that, realistically, when we get down to the southern end and we have the wide open spaces, I think that would be a good addition to have the 12-foot path there, because those traffic goes as fast as they can keep on going to the beach. But so far, we've not been able to find any realistic way of actually acquiring a 12-foot path. So I think we're probably arguing to ensure that it's going to be more case-by-case. And I think we were experienced with people who've been sitting on the city for a time. So I wouldn't think, we make it a big movement to use the 12-foot path at this point, because it's still not a reality in many ways. And so I have this one. I was hoping that we could add to the list next. We're going to have our meeting follow hearing meeting next week, so it's pretty sure that I'm hoping that we'll be talking about phase 6 segment 2, so that we're always sort of talking ourselves to get on this program.
So, and I respond to
Yes.
here's the slide here, and this is going to be for the Warrington, it's showing that, I know it's called phase 1, phase 2, but it's still all part of phase 1 project here. And the orange portion is showing that we're, 26 we're working to accomplish the sidewalk. And then the yellow segment is,
So that's all we authorized.
circle back to a very important idea that Councilman Wilson brought up. And that is that drainage is a real important consideration. And if you go ahead and make this phase one, we have some pretty slides of some drainage plans that were part of the recent County Road design process. Is that going to be another phase of the project? Because it seems to me that drainage should be probably implemented for the pathway. Just to make sure that it's going to work effectively. I like that one point about service. I think that's a really good idea too. But I think we could have probably a more unified approach to this. We'll put in some of the great design features and include drainage along with it as we go. It's great to have a long path, but it's also great to have good drainage.
Again, I think because their segment's going, the drainage is already in the project. We're not creating the stormwater challenges by putting the sidewalk along properties that already have ways to be drained off as the they currently are. So that might be more of a whole approach when we get down to the undeveloped and the rest of the island. If we've got flooding, we work on. There's no budget for flood, stormwater management.
I will confirm this with project engineering that we sent. But I do believe we are addressing anything we impact as far as all goes.
Right, so they're not going to make it work, but again.
There's just some beautiful things with trees and plantings and other things. Water, that kind of thing. Add to the traction.
That's why we need to try to follow that.
But I was just going to add that we recently just had a college, last project before and the stormwater permitting was like part of getting this passed. So whether we want to or not, I don't think we have a choice but to address it for reconstruction. Any other questions? Thank you so much for some of our community. All right, moving on to old business, James Island Water Quality Project, that was added by Dave Schaefer from Canada.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look. I just want to make sure everybody has, at the same as everybody has the packet. It's not, I'll be happy to do it. Thank you. Anybody else? And also here in a minute. Thank you. My name is Marilyn Woodard. I am the James Island Public Service District Commission Chair, and I am filling in for District Manager Dave Schaefer, who had emergency this afternoon. So I'm going to use his talking points of the packet that has been presented for you today. Okay? The first page of the packet is the proposed sewer expansion project. It's one page, and this is being provided to decision makers in Columbia versus the 357-page grant application to the Rural Infrastructure Authority that we submitted. The second page of the packet are notes from Kyle Mitchell on the House of the ARPA SRF committee meeting held on October 18th, and it's not likely that the funding is going to be solidified by the state by the end of the year. The packet also contains two recent articles about James Island Creek. Article dated October 7th, human fecal matter creating unsafe bacteria levels in James Island Creek, task force working to clean it up. Number two, article dated October 9th. We know what's polluting James Island Creek, now we need to fix it. Article number three, article dated October 20th, cleaning up James Island Creek is federal public funds should help. James Island Public Service District had conversations with the Rural Infrastructure Infrastructure Authority, based on the $500,000 grant application submitted last month, September. Unfortunately, the RIA, that's the abbreviation for the Rural Infrastructure Authority, was looking to fund projects where the government entities were not counting the ARPA funding, the state budget surplus, used for non-recurring projects. The timing of the state infrastructure funding is not properly aligned with this round of the RIA funding. And the district is will apply again in March. So we're going to go back that again and try to get it. March 2022, when all of the ARPA and non-recurring project funding is fully solidified. Based on our most recent meeting with Representative Leon Tabernacle, the main message is that it's extremely important that the district obtain financial commitments from both the city of Charleston and the county of Charleston, in addition to the $1.8 million from the town of James Island. Representative Tabernacle claims that this will add much more influence for the project funding, because that would be 4 government entities that are financially committed to restoring the James Island Creek watershed. Much more information is to come, but the district is drafting a joint support letter from the James Island Public Service District, town of James Island, city of Charleston, and Charleston County. And they will follow up in with Texas and Sunset directly so that we can see this. In addition to an in-person discussion with Representative Kyle Michelle has been able to facilitate discussions about the project with Katie Turner, the budget director for the House Ways and Means Committee. Kyle Michelle is currently working to set up meetings with Scott DeLay, as he is the new director of legislative affairs. Any new developments between today and next Monday, October 26th, will be provided in the next regular meeting scheduled for our James Island Public Service Commission. And y'all, so it's a lot of material, but this is kind of your quick note of what's in that packet there. Just to give you a read on what has happened.
Any questions? Thank you so much, Mayor. The next is the following report for the town.
No.
Okay. And then you did, those actually stand up your op-ed.
Down here. Oh, I'm sorry, you did it. Go ahead and give it
I was gonna say that the, Jim Concord College Task Force made citizens education and outreach committee chaired by, Anthony. Communication. These matters, and I'm pleased that you press.
I'm sorry. Ms. Milligan?
Right, yeah, I wasn't concerned at our last year, when we met, really important that we notify the exact neighborhoods who are being identified for the proposed sewer expansion, who have septic, and the council is looking, more and more, at septic regulations, and, I think in terms of public engagement, that we should actually interacting with the community, holding public meetings for the by Zoom, educating the community about rider systems, about public expansion. But in all of these resources, I think the mayor or anyone else mentioned Clark's Point, Elemental Road, and Oak Point Road to be the actual location identified. So our residents who are spending money on their septic systems, who are interested in learning more. So by public engagement, I mean engaging with the community about this.
Excellent. I do know, he's not going to speak on it, but following our last meeting, we did circulate the material that CIC has put together. So I know that they're actively working on that. So you're actually, we will definitely have that in a minute to make sure we get that update. Any
again, as long as we're requesting grant money, double funds, we need to let people know what's coming and what's being done. So thank you, I appreciate it.
Excellent. Well, thank you all so much for that. The next item is moving into new business was brought by Councilman Attell, who is not here tonight. He is, with his wife on vacation in preparation for their new baby. So, he's going to be out for a while. I will take this one though. This is a perfect example of why it's so important to have a meeting like this where all governments are represented and people can bring their concerns. We all individually pay attention to what's out on social media in our district. But this is one of those things that got a lot of excitement. The Richardson House, which is down at the intersection almost of Camp and Riverland Drive, is a historic structure. It's now owned by Bishop Gadsden, and they were trying to determine what to do with it. And when I guess it was kind of a rumor, but when it went out that they may have to tear that structure down, the community responded in force, and those voices were heard loud and clear. And Bishop Gadsden is working on some different grant opportunities, and at different levels of government, we are also looking at how we can help partner to restore that and use that area that they have acquired. So, Councilman Attell is really this group to let everyone know that the community voice has been heard on this, and hopefully we will do something in the future come of that. I will say the structure is in very poor position right now. We have a lot of rehabilitation that has significant water damage. It hasn't been, it's been unoccupied for some period of time, and so we're working on how to do that. So we hope to have good news on that in the future. Senator Finn, also not here, has the next two items.
Well, I can't, other than say that the House is not, further correct that you're unlikely to see a resolution on this calendar, but they do, so they are meeting, I think that it's quite early in the year out there. There are deadlines with federal government, Sure, right. So this particular part of money is similar to how the local government was triggered by the step to start that process. So we can hold it back on. But I think you do well with it and then I was disappointed in that, but those are things that the work maybe is active. So maybe it shouldn't be what they're going to recommend, but I don't think so to the how more rather than that. So to put this point that I say will be stronger as a saying that increase set of jurisdiction. If we agree that we're going to financially support a match, how are we going to be able to literally adopt something that would be solid enough for the state legislature to believe it, that give us the opportunity to not go through the whole design process without really knowing the funding in place. But I think that's going to be challenging. I think if you want to run primary concern will be buying of the local government and making sure all the local government goes out with the underlying plan. And then just I think the letters that we put on the title. We get circulated, everybody is very important that they can commitment to a project, science project, and the fact that this is not, one small, this representation of all people together on. And because language of that letter isn't. So that will be something that we have to have it on the table by the end of the year, or so packaging. Absolutely, I think everything is ideal for the family. But I don't have to. I think
And I know, speaking from the county standpoint, we're still working with our priority list, and then government, like, we get their money directly. We made it, I mean, the county is behind it. Right, so it's really easy to make it a contingent, and then it seems don't connect with something called your nobody is any worse off, but we're incremental. So I think we make this contingent up front and say, hey, we're going to stand by this, condition side, getting the grant money from anywhere else, and keep the process.
Okay, so the draft is on support letter that we're gonna get. More details about that.
I think the total amount of money is roughly $8 million. And the town, 85%. That's it. And I would hope that these towns and cities with commitment proportional to what we are looking at. In terms of your percentage.
But again, the $8 million comes from that technology that, you know, maybe she, you know, studied and reworked her. So I just hope that we can, you know, go through the process that can be traditional, can be incremental.
Yeah, and
Right.
generally, so if you want to experience in the county, you know, we propose this much money. And then, you know, actually sometimes we have now, then more.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I suppose, and I think that that's the thing, is like, the county, the we're put money in some of our things. That would be nice.
But you can be asked for council, then that's the most important.
We also think the purpose of no one can be hooked to a right way, round and not road. Very thin. And you pour ground and road, there's no commitment. So we ask the grant and they give us grant, but then we never spend money. Yeah.
So once we make millions, that's how much the city can do for one thousand in front of you, that's what the CFD, that's what it's done.
Well, that isn't clear, but I believe, we haven't determined that, but no, we can get the, I think, we actually get for bill for construction. We are much further along in the process with the town, we committed to make.
So it's just in the town.
Yeah, it's-
Thank you. All right, okay, I put you on the spot, I have no idea what the word market is, but could you address this, item that you left on the table?
No, I'm not sure what other son wants to do, like.
Yeah.
You all are invited actually, to the, event that we're putting together here on the other hand. And what we hope to do is, come up with some very viable and good ideas and solutions to an ongoing problem that we've had for a long time. So that's the problem with lots of living on the we go out pretty regularly, James on Friday to pick up litter. And in fact, if you all want to join us, Saturday morning, 9 to 11, we have a litter pickup. Here's some questions. Don't rush. Right here. So anyway, what we want to do with this forum is to bring together elected officials, citizens, members of the law enforcement community, as well as people from conservation groups. We basically just want to hash out some ideas. Maybe try to come up with some ways to minimize the also to come up with some better ways of enforcing some of the laws that are already in place. And try to encourage local law enforcement to. That's that's the idea, but the idea here isn't just say, well, there's a lot of trash over here on this side. But rather say, let's come up with a proactive solution, you know, with all of this.
So, Derek, knowing that we have two, public safety, you know, divisions here between county and city, are you in touch with the team leader or what will you do that?
That would be great if you would, what's the need to do on? Yeah, we sent it out to,
Okay,
yeah, Chief Reynolds is one of the people.
oh, you already got it.
Sheriff,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean,
And just a shameless self-promotion, Big John Public Service District will also be cleaning up on Saturday at 8:30. We'll be meeting at the corner of Bobby and Fort Johnson and the church right there, so. We need to do this.
There's lots of opportunities.
but again, just to remind you, it's going to be Wednesday, November 10th, 6 p.m. right here at Town Hall. And I'd love to have you.
The last item on the agenda, I added, a couple days ago, just wanted the public to be aware that, we are going through redistricting right now, at the state level on down. And, our school board will no longer be at large in the next election. So the midterm elections in 2022, residents of James Island, Valley, Stewart, Zero, District 9 will elect a school board member in addition to their county council members. The school board race is nonpartisan, and so that will be different than the current makeup of the school board, which is at large, and every member represents all the areas. And it will mean that you have perhaps in some way a stronger voice for the island on the school board. So those boundary lines for the school board will mimic whatever the county are. What I would like to do is propose early for this, but next year as we come on it, is we invite whoever represents the island on the school district to be a part of this group. And so, yeah, hopefully that person will want to engage in this group. We have had some overlap with some of the county school board issues, you know, stoplight studies and schools and that kind of thing. So occasionally we do have issues that come up. And so everybody's in it, that will like that person as well. Anything else for good order?
I've been thinking that, Captain Wilson, who served on the EWS board, John J. Island, would be a good addition to, body, stormwater. No, not stormwater, but water. But then the other thing is, I would like to announce that CFD Commissioner Captain Wilson, her birthday tonight. I would like to ask you all to join me in singing happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kathy. Happy birthday to